It finishes 0-0 at Fir Park, and Hearts' chances of getting a top 6 place are now confirmed as nil. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Here for the Hearts fans' reaction to the 0-0 draw at Fir Park against Motherwell in a game that was pretty simple for Hearts. Win and you secure top 6. You've got it in your own hands. You don't need to worry about St Mirren. You don't need to even look at other scores. All you need to do is look at your own score and score more goals than Motherwell. Could Hearts do it? No, they couldn't even score one goal. Never mind outscore Motherwell. Very disappointing. The season has just fallen off over the last 6 weeks. Despite a good start to 2025 and recovering after a really shocking start to the season, Hearts got themselves into a position where not only could they still get top 6, but European football was still looking decent and also an outside shot at third place. But we've seen that Hibs have continued their great run in 2025 and Hearts have just fallen away, losing big games against Rangers, big games against Hibernian, big games against Celtic, and just being unable to beat teams like Motherwell. So, yeah, Neil Critchley for me probably should go. I mean, we're sacked managers for less. I mean, Robbie Neilson got sacked because he dropped down into 4th spot. So surely with Critchley not being able, and people will say, well, you know, the poor start to the season. Yeah, but you know, he came back from that and then he bottled it. So you can say that we were coming from behind, but that doesn't wash because he got us into a top 6 position and then just decided to throw it all away. So I think that Critchley should go and we should get a new face in for next season. Hopefully this £10 million investment is true, and yeah, we can just get back to better days at Tynecastle.
How can anybody use the excuse of, well, he got us in there? Has anyone seen the Hearts squad? The Hearts squad, for a lot of people, is comfortably third best. Right? May not be performing like it's the third best, but it's definitely up there. The summer, all the signings, you know, I don't want to repeat what I did earlier, but, you know, Dehan, Spittle, etc., keeping, you know, guys like Shanklin, Craig Gordon's back. What's happened? I'll tell you what's happened. Stephen Naismith's arse folded, and this guy, Critchley, is a FUD. He should never, and I mean ever, have got the job. He should never, he's not good enough. There's nothing about him to suggest that he is worthy of managing a club of this stature. He was at Blackpool.
Twice.
Aye, twice. Then he managed the under-21s of Liverpool. Who cares? Honestly, what warrants him get... When he was linked with the job, we were like, he's got no credentials. And say you want about Jimmy Thielen, he's won leagues. Alright? Say you want about Big Phil, he's won leagues. Alright? And we can go fucking on and on and on. What's this guy done? Nothing. Can we honestly sit here and say we're surprised? No, I can't. Absolute fumble of a mammoth proportion this is, man. Cannot be fit. To finish outside the top 6 with this squad, for me, is unacceptable. The guy can't win a big game. I think the only game he's won of any decent proportion is the Dundee United game. And
I'm a bit surprised at the drop-off because I thought that, you know, it was beginning to pick up. So, I mean, I'm surprised in that aspect, but when he first came in, I wasn't happy with the appointment. Didn't think we should have signed the guy. Stand by that. Still don't think we should have signed the guy or appointed the guy or whatever you want to call it. And for me, he should go. I never wanted rid of Robbie Neilson. And I know that's a while ago now. Almost.
Why did he get sacked? There has to be something bigger at play. There's no way he gets sacked for dropping into... I know it happened as soon as he dropped into 4th, but something must have got found out. Because there's no way you sack him for that, but then you stick with Naismith as long as you did, and then this guy feels like he's safe. They've already made the summer signings.
The last 2 appointments have been shocking. Now, look, Naismith did go on to have a good season last season, but I didn't want Naismith to get the job. I think sacking Robbie Neilson and bringing in Naismith, and that was his first managerial job, to me, that made absolutely no sense. And also, Naismith was told when he came in that he would need to finish 3rd to get the job. He finished further behind Aberdeen than when Robbie Neilson was there. And they still gave him the job for the following season. And then he somehow managed to go on an 18-game winless run without getting sacked. I don't get it. I don't get how Naismith survived so long and got the job with no experience. I don't get how Critchley got the job with shite experience and, has fumbled the top six, and both of those guys got to stay, yet Robbie Nielsen dropped into fourth for one game and was gone. It doesn't make
But he can redeem it. Scottish Cup, can they win it?
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. Even if they do win the Scottish Cup, I'll say great, thank you, trophy, European football, guaranteed group stage. Thanks a lot, Neil Critchley, legend. But I still don't think he's the man to take us forward. If he won the Scottish Cup, I would still prefer if he went.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'd be grateful and I'd be thankful and I'd be like, cheers.
No, it's the same with Barry Ferguson. He could win the Europa League, but I wouldn't want him, personally, I wouldn't. And I know that the Europa League's a different kettle of fish, right? But I feel like both guys are paddling up shit creek without a paddle. So anyway, we'll move into the comments and we'll get into it. Prick is trending. I wonder if that's for Neil Critchley. Mark Newman says, fucking disgraceful. Get it right, fucking up, yous. Joy Division, ya cunts. Ha ha ha. St Mirren finding it funny. Jamie Dow says, spineless bastards, every one of those players. To the board. Can't get up for big games, but at least we have a hotel. Watch the support dwindle after the semi. No style, no bottle. Fucking embarrassing. What do you make of the photos? The photos? The photos of Shankland at Ibrox. He was at the Bilbao game as a fan. Is he allowed to do that, or is that bang at the order considering his phone?
If he was scoring 20 goals a season and helping us to forward and he was winning us the Scottish Cup, then I'd be like, that's absolutely fair enough. Do what you want, mate. But considering how shite he's been, instead of maybe going to watch Rangers, maybe he should be focusing on his game.
Maybe he should turn up at Tynecastle once in a while.
I probably showed more appearances at Ibrox than he was at Tynecastle. It's not good.
Not good, guys. Get him out. Sharon says Stuart. Pure pish, says Diane. Maida Maestro finds it funny. Actually delighted. We'll now likely finish on more points after 38 games than we would have finishing 6th. Bonus 2. Avoid Old Firm shaggings and a possible third derby defeat. Roll on next season.
What a negative way to look at it. I mean, who cares about how many points you get? You ain't going to finish higher than 7th.
I think
and it's disingenuous to go, oh, look, we scored more points than the team in 6th. Who cares? Because Hearts ain't gonna outscore Dundee United or Aberdeen or Hibs.
No. Yeah, even if they win the next 5.
They probably will outscore St Mirren because obviously St Mirren have got 5 tough games and Hearts should have 5 easier games. They'll probably outscore St Mirren, but is that what kind of victory is that? Is that you've got to look at the season and go, oh, yeah, we outscored St Mirren by 4 points?
And would Critchley not rather, right? I've been shite against the top 5.
I want a chance to prove myself against them.
Was that no way you'd rather?
The only thing, I'm not too bothered because for me, the whole point of getting into the top 6 is to get European football, and I think we're too far off them anyway, so therefore it wouldn't make a difference in my eyes whether we finish 6th or 7th. Top 6, we ain't going to catch anybody in the top 5, and it's the top 5 possessions that pay European spots, so I'm not bothered for that reason, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm happy because we can pick up more points now in 7th. 7th or 6th, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's like, I actually think it's a bad thing for Hearts for numerous reasons, but one, Critchley will probably finish a distant 7th. He might win a lot of the games, and that might keep him in the job. While if he actually got top 6 and like lost 4 out the 5 and drew 1 with like a Scottish Cup defeat, that might get rid of him. I think so though. But compared to if he actually like wins most of the games in the bottom.
Yeah, no, I can see that case as well, so aye.
But also, there's no guarantee Hearts stay 7th. Like, they're 6 points off 11th. It's not impossible this Hearts team begins to fall off. You know what I mean? But yeah, at least they're in the cup. That can be more than said for some teams. You know, welcome to Bernie and we run the capital. Do they? The Hibs run the capital?
I mean, they clearly don't, but right now they are the best team in Edinburgh by a country mile, I will say that.
Who's second then?
Well, it's
Edinburgh City,
Look, Hibs are the best team right now, and that's great.
Levy.
Great for them, but no. Great for them, but I mean, let's not pretend like Hibs have been the...
Yeah, you could be playing Levy in a playoff.
Let's not pretend that Hibs have been the dominant team here for years.
I know Hearts have dominated Scottish football. It's got a bit fucking boring. At least they've reeled it in a bit. Anyway, Jan Dander fires Celtic and Rangers Premiership warning as he claims Hearts can win the title. Right. This is why you just keep your mouth shut.
Aye. You know, this would look pretty embarrassing, I think, that even if Hearts finish third,
But distant.
this would look embarrassing.
You're 7th, Dander, mate.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
And he said it after drawing 0-0 with the shittest Rangers team I've ever seen. That was straight after that 0-0 game early on, so yeah, brutal. Right, we'll move on for a few more comments. We're not going to watch that one.
I think that Rangers just gave Hearts faith hope.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So let's talk about you and Cameron, right? He made a deal on the big Saturday Forum, whatever it's called, where he said he made a bet months ago that if Hearts didn't finish above Aberdeen, he would go outside Pittodrie in a full Aberdeen kit and sing Hearts Are Falling Apart again, and the person remind him. Who the fuck sets themselves up, by the way, for that kind of failure?
You and Cameron. I think the guy likes to embarrass himself. I mean, he makes a lot of bets. He makes a lot of statements and promises that just don't seem like they're going to be true. I mean, he's the kind of guy that would say, "Oh, I guarantee we're going to beat Celtic, or else I'll wear a Celtic strip." It's almost like he wants to wear the Celtic strip.
It's almost like he's a closet fan of every team apart from his own. Like, no, it's one thing him wearing a kit on the wee podcast with Stephen Mill, but to wear a full kit, the full kit wanker, you know what I mean? The socks, the shorts, the top, outside that team's stadium while singing your own team's falling apart. Who signs up for that?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not like we're talking about, he's wearing an Aberdeen shirt on a podcast. No, he's literally outside their stadium singing about how shite his team is. Absolutely rank rotten. And I think that's where we'll leave it. Critchley out. I don't think many people are going to disagree with that. You also did say that Hearts would finish above Aberdeen, but I don't believe you made any bets of that kind, did you?
No, but I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did kind of say it would happen. Like,
I think with a decent manager, it probably would have happened.
At one point, it looked on. Hearts got the gap down to Aberdeen to about 7 points.
Yep.
And Hearts were unbeaten. At that point, Hearts were unbeaten in 2025. And Aberdeen, I think, were on their 14-game winless run.
10 defeats and 4 draws.
So when it got down to 7, it did look like it.
Yep.
But Aberdeen have picked up a wee bit since then, and Hearts have just fallen away. So
shite season for the Jambos. But can they win the Scottish Cup? Find out next weekend when they take on that Diddy team from Aberdeen. Till next time. Peace.